Dice. I'll roll a dice. I feel like Mercury has done a few. Manikai, do you want to do one?
Sure.
You get a hero
I,
point
I
for
was
it too.
just trying to recall. So last time
Yeah.
was like a role-playing session, which means that I can't just look at the map and remember.
No, that was the time before.
Yeah, the
Oh,
last
I
session
can look at them.
was a session where you fought a bunch of really scary things that you had left over in your explorations.
Oh, I remember what happened last time.
Okay.
I could do it if
It was like a
Alright,
ghost,
go for
I
it.
think.
yeah. Do you want it, Malachi? Go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
Okay. So last time, we returned to Gauntlet Keep, having gotten a new sword, having gotten halfway through making another new sword, having sold a lot of books, and entreated and made friends with the mayor. So we returned to level 2, or level -2. And we decided to clean up more of the north and eastern side of this floor that we hadn't previously seen. So we went up and found a old excavation room with a magical pickaxe that this dig didn't seem to get very far. The room having remained completely unconstructed, or the construction was not finished before whatever happened here happened. We went into a library and just got completely shredded by a porcupine golem who just like shot out so many wood pieces, like a freaking machine gun. But we took care of it, and we got the now very well practiced after combat medicine and stitches and whatnot. We probably have so many scars at this point. We then continued going and got to a room with a ghost furnace that took the form of two scholars who were yelling at each other. That was a real pain to solve, but eventually they went away, and a ring was retrieved from the depths of the furnace. I can't quite remember what it did, but we were very happy to get it. We then continued back east and south along to the chapel area that we had speed ran through the first time because we didn't want to lose our buffs. And then found 3 more doors, 2 to the south, 1 to the east. The east one revealing yet another floor that descended downwards to another level. Surprise, surprise. We then continued on to the 2 southern doors, both of which appeared to be some sort of like work area. One of them just absolutely soaked in blood, and the other one with pages barely holding together through time. A ghost of a woman whose corpse lied on the ground next to one of the tables, who was obsessed with one of the dark elves who worked here, and she, after a little bit of tomfoolery on the party's part, tricking her and learning some information and whatnot, she busted us and started screaming about our disrespect, and then we disrespected her lover even more by putting first a crossbow bolt and then a foot through the painting of him that she was clutching onto. Then after that, moving through into her office, we found presumably the infernal contract that keeps our buddy on the west side of this floor, down in this prison area. And then continued back through the bloody room, where we encountered a gibbering mouther who absolutely wrecked us to pieces, for the most part. We did win that fight. Nobody went down, but we went from reasonably pretty healthy, considering everything that had come before that, to very badly injured, for the most part. And beyond it, there was a cave that led on to more tunnels that the Gauntlet is exposed to, but not necessarily a part of. And then that's where we stopped.
Yes. At the end of last session, you were basically immediately saying, "All right, we have to head back to Atari. We heard it is, resource expanded. Is that still what you wish to do?"
Well, I have no more heal spells, and
I think so.
Yes.
I have speed 10 because of all the books I'm holding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
covered in
right.
books
Yes,
and
the
other
wheelbarrow of books. I forgot about that.
There's so many books.
It's just carrying them in back. Oh,
Yeah. I think a retreat is probably called for.
we will retreat.
All right, you retreat. Then that is what will happen.
We'll be back.
Oh, yeah.
Again and again.
Oh, yeah.
Take a quick
Whack.
trip through
Thwack.
the upper levels of the Gauntlet, back into the little sea cave where the Drake used to live, and then well, I'm sure you somehow find a way to make sure that the books don't get wet. That doesn't seem like a huge challenge.
There's so many books that we have to like put them in the boat and then walk with a rope, just dragging the boat of books
Big
along the river.
build a raft out of it, and then
Yeah.
hey, I have crafting expert. I can build a raft.
Is gold really worth it?
Yes, gold is always worth it.
I don't know about that.
Now stop complaining back there.
After 3 years, we finally made the raft. Let's play the campaign.
Yes, we will head back to Atari.
All right,
Cash in.
takes you about an hour, maybe a bit longer. The sun is still high in the sky, although it is early afternoon at this point. As you return with buckets full of books.
I hope this guy likes reading, because we're flooding the market here.
Oh, Morlebend is all into books. Like you, there's no such thing as too many books.
All right, awesome.
We should rate this
Would
guy.
he be willing to do a
for
book
loot.
report on what he finds? Just little bullet points.
Yeah,
of
you
important
know, if
books.
he runs across anything that he thinks is pertinent to our delve into Gauntlet, that would be nice if he told us. Maybe we can put that in as part of the deal here.
Maybe a discount. Incentivize him.
Hey.
Well, that sounds like you're hiring him to do research for you, which could be a deal that could be established.
We'll pay him with books.
It's like a stamp card. Every 5th book is free.
Books for
Let's see.
knowledge.
How many books do you have in your inventory?
I've got
Oh,
3 stacks of valuable books.
That is incorrect. We have more than that.
Yes,
yeah,
but
we
I
also put a
personally
bunch
have.
in the.
Yeah, but we put it all on
Bunch
the
in the
cart,
wheelbarrow.
remember? So we actually have 9
I
books.
also have 4 more in my backpack.
Okay,
Wait, we
I
have-
need an accurate.
We have
total.
9 total. I've found them all
9?
together. We have 9.
All right, you have 9. Then you can sell those as before for I believe it was 5 gold pieces each.
Alright, 45 gold.
Throw it in the state.
Talk it up.
Parliament will be very happy, saying things such as, "Ooh, this is marvelous. This will keep me busy for a while. I'll have to contact my contacts in Absalom right away. Of course, I want to know what's in these books, but I mean, maybe I can keep them for a while." Sort of stands there pondering.
Well, Dancer will, as Rogar and Armin are unloading all the books on his counter, he will say, "Well, as you know, the acquiring of these books are difficult and dangerous," pointing out to, the different gashes and whatnot we have. So if in your perusal of the books run across anything that is pertinent, you would think, to our delve into the gauntlet, it would be very nice for you to let us know.
He glances over to Dance and says, define pertinent to your delve. I'm sure these books contain many a thing that might be relevant, but I'm not really an adventurer. Like, if there's a book on mushrooms, do you care?
He shrugs and says, for now, general history of the place, how deep it goes, what we could wait there. If there is
History of
a...
Valcora.
If you can somehow find an activation word for the teleportation rooms inside there, that would help.
I see. Yes, I shall scour these books, and if I find anything that is directly related to Gauntlet or its contents, I'll talk to you. But I can tell you, I've had at least a very, very cursory glance about the books you brought me the other day. And none of them are specific to this locale or Gauntlet itself, even.
He
They
nods.
are niche topics, mostly arcane and occult, with a variety of other rather gruesome things, actually. But nothing
Well, they
that
also
would
seem to
fit
have
your needs there.
quite a lot of like downtime projects going on in Gauntlet, which may be ongoing or at least stalled out but not over. So if there are any recurring topics or overlap in subject matter, that might be good to know as well. And
Well, I can tell you that the overlapping subject matter appears to be things related to death.
oh, great. Yeah.
If you also come across any form of organizations, factions, or similar things, we have run across something called the Cult of the Canker. There is also something about a worm. He scratches the back of his head. Any such mentions of factions or cults seemingly dwelling within would be also helpful, so we know more what we're getting into. It has gotten crazier and crazier with every floor down there, and we still don't know how far down it goes.
Yes, I don't remember seeing any books about factions in particular. But the topics of worms has come up oddly often, now that you mention it.
We did find a room on the first basement floor, I believe, with a dead, desiccated purple worm. It was like in a small enclosure, like a habitation almost. The light of the gauntlet was streaming up through the room. That probably killed it. Yeah. So there is. We have also fought some strange leech thing that was also very worm-like. So there is something going on for sure. I don't know if he can see the What the Worm Knows book, but if it's there, he'll point at it.
Just the one
It-
you know.
I mean, I'm not one to assume I know how other people think, but it really seems to me like someone was very fixated on rather odd topics. In
Yes.
addition to, all the death and necromantic and ghosts in particular, actually.
Nods.
Well, it would be rude to ask a lot without offering anything. So, perhaps if you find anything useful, we can provide more books for information in place of coin. It could be a very beneficial arrangement for everybody.
Oh, I am sure that if I find something that seems immediately important for you, I'll let you know. But I will not have the time to read all or even any of these books in any detail. I'll browse the contents briefly, and if I happen upon, I don't know, detailed blueprint of the gauntlet or its lower parts, then sure, I'll mention it.
Oh, do your best.
That's really
Thank
all
you.
we can ask.
Very good, very good. I'll get these stashed away, and thank you for your services. If you find any more, you know where I live.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Not ominous at all.
She'll cart the books from like the bookstore back into
Wait,
what appears to be like his personal domain. On the map, you can basically see that like there's the actual bookstore, and then an actual like reasonably sized stone tower sort of attached to it, but not really part of it.
Got like a
In
little
fact,
apartment
what
above.
must have once been the front door of said wizard tower is just in the inside of the bookstore now, still looking like an outside front door, really.
Okay, that's cute though. A bookshop that is in like a former wizard's tower. That would be a hit for sure.
I mean, I think he lives in the tower, and just build a bookstore around it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Did someone add the gold to the stash?
No.
I am.
And I will do it, I
Go
suppose.
for it.
Oh, 122 gold now. Catching.
Nice.
All right.
You've also completed Molibin's quest of giving him at least 12 bulk worth of books, which means you will get some experience that I'll give you at the end of the session. He also officially supports you now, which doesn't just mean that he's friendly towards you, but you may use his library at any time to get a +1 on any relevant topics in terms of research, which is arcane, occult, primal, everything magic, basically. Which the Dawnflower library wouldn't necessarily
that's
cover.
good.
And you get a 5% discount on any of the services he may provide, which is mostly in the direction of formulas and arcane and occult scrolls.
Alright,
So,
not bad.
So
learn new spells.
if you need a particular second level or lower spell scroll, you can tell him, hey, I would like that, and then you can purchase that the next day, presumably,
Okay.
depending on the spell, for 5% off.
Well, that's pretty nice.
Reminds me, like, do we still have the thing? You should go hunt wolves, right? Was it
Yeah, yeah.
The shady guy.
Yeah,
Hunts
the shady
wolves?
guy who
Yeah,
wants
it's
to
like,
kill
if
us.
you see wolves, kill them
Yeah.
and you bring me
I
their
haven't
pelts.
found any though.
No.
Yeah, we never saw any wolves.
Oh,
No sign.
there'd be a.
Oh yeah, because they were druids. Yeah.
Is there an evil? Is there
Fascinating or something.
a wolf door in the tower? It's like a dog door.
Doggy.
Well, if you run across any.
Like a little bridge
Yeah.
that is suspiciously dog-sized.
Yeah.
Suspicious looking bowl on the floor.
Hmm. That's Fido. Well, yeah, I feel
On this, my wolf dog.
I feel if we come across anything, we can definitely do it. It's just Dawnlight for me is too pressing to go gallivanting around the countryside looking
Yeah.
for wolves.
I'm not saying that we should do it. I just,
Yeah,
I thought some would show up at some point.
Well, maybe he's killed them all already with his bounties.
Perhaps. Or maybe he's just crazy. Who knows?
I mean, he looks pretty shady to me.
Mhm.
Good
I'm not
business plan.
particularly
You
invested
sell
in the wolf
adventuring
druid,
gear? You sell adventuring gear and wild sort of nature survival equipment, and you put up a bunch of bounties for creatures that do not live in the local area.
Yeah.
So people just
Yeah.
gallivant out climbing mountains and find nothing. And
Yeah,
when
and
you
they
come
need to
back
buy
and
your
have to buy a
stuff
new hook
to-
and
yeah.
trail
Pretty-
rations.
Yeah, pretty smart.
I mean, so far you've walked exactly the same 1 hour path to the forest,
Mhm.
basically every day.
It's true. We
We
just don't
have
really
our
much of a
own-
reason to go anywhere else.
We have our own
A
trail
lot of
now.
stuff going on. Yeah.
Let's put a little sign out.
It's like the one. It's like the road, except it's completely straight.
Yep. It's completely straight.
Well, we probably want to go
Yeah.
back and like rest. I
Yes.
figure.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Rogar is tired after I carried all these books all day.
Yeah, I gotta heal up and then recuperate. Maybe pick up my
Going.
sword tomorrow.
Mhm.
I believe that was still 2 days out.
Maybe I'll pick it up the day after tomorrow.
That sounds possible.
Wasn't this magic chain shirt, right?
Yes, there was a magic chain shirt.
Is it really only worth 5 gold pieces?
No. That is because the
Potency
value
rune.
isn't right.
That's not. How long does it take to remove a rune? What's the cost of that? 'Cause we might remove that to something else. Wait for having a day anyway.
Takes 10% of the item's value to move it to something else. So I could move that
And-
to one of your armors first.
And armor runes are fairly pricey.
Yes, they are.
But it seems
Um,
wasteful to just have it there without
To
anyone
just
using
not-
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I should definitely move it. There's no
Uh,
question about it.
I do have the magic pick that is worth 100 gold. 'Cause it has striking on it, so I could sell that.
Does anyone not have a
What do I do with
striking
those
rune?
runes?
I don't.
Then you should have a striking rune.
My rapier only has the.
Can you use the pick?
Can I use a pick? Is it a
that
simple
might-
weapon?
I don't know.
It's a martial
I
weapon.
mean, it
Oh.
gives
I can't use it then.
Dancer a look like wow.
Gnomes know how to use picks, but dwarves don't. We know how
That's
to use
presumptuous.
axes.
I mean, 10 gold in a day and you'll have it on your thing. So
Yeah, get it on your rapier.
All right.
the armor potency rune would be 16 gold to transfer.
And the other one would be 10.
Let's
10%. So
10% of the rune's value. So it's 65.
So yeah, 6.5.
6.5.
Okay.
What did you say the armor was?
The armor rune is originally 160 gold.
So
So
16.
16.
So 22.5 gold to move this around. So we can deduct that.
Nothing.
Hmm.
Yeah, nothing. Let's do it. Question is who gets it. Yeah,
I mean,
put the striking.
you're the tank.
I mean, I wouldn't hate it.
Maybe we put
but-
in you.
Okay. I'll take a plus
mean,
one armor.
it-
And
it's you or
you
Dancer,
want
probably.
to take the striking rune?
Yeah, because I'm the only one who doesn't have one.
Yeah.
There we go. I have +1
I
striking.
do find
rapier.
frequently that I'm in like, I could use my shield reaction, but it would bring it to like exactly. So every +1, it all adds up.
I must have a target before making an attack. Okay, fine, but just wanted to see
Oh yeah,
what
that's
afterward.
a setting I put on because I was like, oh sure, why not?
No, I
we
can't. I
target
can't
someone.
test out the
No,
macro.
we can't test.
Just target each other. You know, have a sparring match to test your weapons.
Get him.
Hey, Dancer.
Does he laugh like that as he raises his rapier? Oh! Oh god, well I'm dead.
I accidentally stabbed him through the eyeball into the brain.
Oh no.
That's a good
Rubber
roll
chat.
though.
That's a
Roll
good
the
roll.
chat.
Good roll for
32
sure.
damage. I'll take it.
Oh, he has deadly too. Nasty.
Rapiers.
Well, sell the +1 that's left then. Out of the
Plus
Well-
1, it would make that like 30 something gold pieces.
35, so 17.5, half of that, right?
Yeah,
Those are
you'll,
the-
you'll definitely easily find a buyer for a magical pickaxe. It is a lumber town, but as a
Sweet.
tool or
We
weapon.
can mine trees.
Yeah.
There's
I
really a
added
guy just running around mining copper at the edge.
Played
back and forth.
Minecraft. It's fine.
Sells it all at the marketplace.
Yeah,
I added
so you
it
can
to
sell
the
that, no problem.
Sold that, and then we remove the chain shirt, and just because that's not really. Well, we can sell the chain shirt for 2.5 gold, I guess.
Sell the shirt. Yeah.
Alright.
It's
Pay
2.5
for
gold.
pay for the rune transfer,
Yeah.
All right, +1 rune.
There we go.
Yeah,
What
I'll
do you
make this
tip
an
when
AC
you shop
bonus.
too? You know?
Not yet. Not that affluent quite yet.
You know, when adventurers come down and say, "Oh, can we buy some adventuring gear?" And he says, "Oh, that's that's 5 silver pieces." And then you say,
What's
just
a silver
take the
piece?
gold.
Yeah,
Take the
it's
gold.
just have a
Take the
platinum.
gold. I don't want change.
I just put the platinum down, and you just sort that out.
Tell me when you're ready.
That's definitely my standard protocol at a tavern. Is like, here, I'm just gonna give you a gold piece, and you tell me when this doesn't get like when I need to give you another
Yeah,
one.
I'm gonna walk in, 10 gold, here you go. Tell me when I need to put in more. Bye.
Yeah.
By the
but-
tavern.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. I have a +1 full plate.
That is sweet. That's very sweet. What's your AC now?
23, 25 if I
Ooh.
raise the shield.
That is good. That is good. I need one of those too at some point.
+1 full plate.
No, a +1 leather armor.
We happen to find one.
Yeah.
Well, now that you have stabbed me to death, Rogar, perhaps you can also help me heal a little bit.
Yes.
Runes take a day each. I feel like we'd be full.
Yeah.
Up.
Oh, it's true. It's just for the sake of it.
Fun.
Yeah, we'll take 2 days to move the runes. I have magical
Yeah,
crafting
your
these days,
sword can
so
Yeah.
he'll set up his arcane strange tools and poke at it. He has like one of those things you put over your eye to see things closer, whatever they're called.
Zooming monocle thing.
Yeah, zoom.
I mean, you literally have like a crafter's eyepiece. Which
Oh
is
yeah, we
exactly
do.
that.
I do have a crafter's eye. That's true. That's true. Completely forgot about it.
All right, you take 2 days. We can definitely do that.
Take a
Then your
drink
sword
and
is
get my
done
focus
anyway by that
back.
point.
Yeah, my sword is done at that point.
Yes.
Still missing 10 HP. Can I presume I got
Yeah.
10
Yes, you
Yeah.
can assume.
magical
I mean,
healing
with-
or
Yeah,
something
yes,
like
With
that?
assurance, I mean,
In the
In an
it's
instant.
Then
10 minutes.
Then when I get my new sword, I will spend an additional 10 gold to move my runes over to the silver blade. And then we should be set. After 3 days of downtime, where Dancer just sits with the crafter's eyepiece muttering over the weapons and armor, carefully etching the runes in.
It's important to be equipped.
Yeah. During
Okay,
these
so-
days of re-upping our gear and the time it takes to do that after healing up a little bit. I mean, it's gonna spend the rest of this period like if the mayor is cool with it, she'd go over and just try to do whatever she can to help the daughter. Just she feels bad not working on that, so if we can at least help her feel better in the meantime.
What are you gonna do
Then,
exactly to make you feel better?
I don't know, make some soup or something.
Well, the mayor hesitates for a moment and then says, I could offer you a job as one of my guards. You could stand outside my daughter's bedroom if you think that makes her feel better and you feel better, I suppose. I'm not exactly sure what else you could do for her, though.
Yeah, if it's not actually helpful, then I appreciate the offer. Just wanted to, I don't know. I don't like idle hands. I understand why they, they're doing what they need to do. The place is deadly, but you know what? I'm gonna leave you alone. I'm gonna go do some push-ups or something.
You can see in the
Sorry for wasting
background.
your time.
You can see the background down the hill. The Dancer's window and the red rockfish has that like welding light coming from it. Zzz, zzz.
Yeah, there's a bunch of smoke
Yep.
coming out the
Yep.
window.
Rogar carries in a saw, like, like. Where do you want the power tools?
Well, I mean, Roker will assist if needed, but otherwise I think he would actually like to go on like a little hike.
Hey,
Not into the fog fen, obviously, but there's like a lot of forest here that's not the fog fen.
are you looking for wolves?
You know what? I'm gonna accompany you
Just-
if that's
just
cool,
a hike,
just in
just
case
like,
you get some wolves.
You know, we get a lot of horrible stuff happening, and sometimes I think honestly, it's like, oh, I was gonna go see that everything's not terrible. It's like birds around, you know.
He's gonna go and touch the grass.
I guess
Okay.
we'd be gaming too hard. You know what I mean?
Puts the cap on backwards. Let's head out. Bring a
The
keg.
skateboard. No, but just like around the maybe like along the like log thing.
Sure.
Called the aqueduct.
The
Yeah, it's
flume?
basically an aqueduct.
Flume.
Well, a flume,
It
right?
is.
Yes, it's a flume.
Ponder things, think about stuff. I'll be back later to sit at Denzer's table while he's working and sort of drink and tell him about the things he saw. Like, I saw a bird. It was hadn't really seen it before. And then describing the bird. I think Roger is good at talking about nothing. While he gets thoroughly ignored. Yeah, let's hike.
Sure. Would you take like a hike more towards the like the north, which is more the unexplored wilderness, or east, which would be the road towards Absalom, which is far
No,
more patrolled and all that.
See, I look at this map and I see the road east. It looks incredibly boring. So no, I'll go a little into the forest. Not so far as to get to the fog fen, because I don't want to be eaten by frogs or something. But some wilderness is good. I am trained in those things.
All right. You can certainly do that. On your travels, if you're traveling a bit through the forest, what time of day would Roger pick, just roughly?
He'd get up early. He would have his backpack would be in that would be a keg, and he'd want to walk to a place. Ideally, I don't know what the terrain is like, but like on a hill or something, overlooking the terrain, so he could start drinking at 12, then maybe walk some more around like 3 or something. Yeah,
All right.
maybe actually like stay out for the night and then come back and then stay.
Sure.
It seems nice. It's a little trip.
Little long hike.
I mean, does Amina want to come? Unless she seems, if he notices she's reckless, he'll invite her along.
If he'd like some company, sure.
Yeah,
Sounds lovely.
I'm carrying this keg pretty far, and I can't really carry all the other stuff we do. So it would be a great help to me personally.
Well, I would never offend you by volunteering to take the keg. So yes, I will certainly help with the rest of the stuff. This would be great.
Yeah. River is trained in nature, so I choose to say that he knows about a lot of different types of birds that live in the local area, because he's lived here for rental, but so have you. But he figures maybe you've never paid attention to birds before.
I'd say that's a fair assumption. He definitely pays attention and listens. It's very fascinating, and just compared to everything that has been going on lately, this is absolutely lovely.
All right. Take a day trip out to hike. As you do, it's perhaps not quite before you get to your midpoint, like 11 in the morning. So you're walking around. You're probably off the map at that point because it's really it's perhaps like an hour walk and you'd be off it. You do notice, or Roger specifically does notice, feels like he's being followed. Turns around, doesn't see anyone or anything though. It's just a nagging feeling.
Okay, it's not Amina walking behind him.
No, Amina is obviously following, but more like subtly following it. Roger isn't entirely sure what's evoking that feeling. Some movement he might have seen in the forest, but looking around, he just sees like trees sort of swinging in the breeze. There's the occasional bird, but those weren't it.
I think he would look to Amina and say, I have this strange feeling that something's following me. I think maybe the things we've seen down in the dungeon is affecting me somehow.
She turns around, sees nothing, I presume.
It's quite horrendous. I hope that getting out into the open would be. Hope getting out into the open would be somewhat of a remedy for these things. But
Well, I
I
mean,
mean-
it's still a good thing to be cautious out in the open. Could be a sort of animal is curious, or it doesn't have to be some horrid 12-eyed monstrosity. But still,
you turn a bit to a robot for me.
That was on your end, Dominica.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll try to reconnect. Let's see if that's better. Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Good. Seems okay.
Okay. Yeah. No, Armina was like, it's still good to be careful out in the forest. It doesn't have to be some 12-eyed monstrosity. There might be some sort of, I don't know, animal curious or maybe a little bit apprehensive. So it's not a bad thing to keep to catch these things.
I'll simply admit that I don't know that there is something other than my feeling that there should be.
Mm-hmm.
A bit of an anxiety, maybe. Well, we have the cure for that. It looks around for a nearby hill.
Absolutely.
Peyton banishes all fears. Limitations, really, and helps you sleep at night as well. Some people pray to Desna for good dreams. I don't need to. Caden handles all of it.
Yeah,
She's gonna go along with it, and but drink sparingly over the break, just in case.
Basically, as you're sort of discussing, are we being followed? Is it just my mind? Do I need a bit of drink to get my thoughts away? You do actually hear a quiet voice, sort of as if clearing a tiny throat to get your attention. As it sort of hesitates for a moment and then says, "I am sorry. I did not mean to make you worried. I'm just here to make sure that you don't get attacked on your hike." Rook has no idea where it's coming from.
Does Armina hear this as well?
Yes.
Huh.
Look looks at the bottle and then looks at me.
She shakes her head. No, I heard it too.
Well, hello there. Do you want a sip? Where did you go around?
A few moments later, the source does make itself apparent, and I'm frantically trying to figure out how to show you the picture. I'll just put it in Discord. Because the felon that is following you and revealing itself looks like this one. It is hedgehog sized.
Oh,
Very much looks like a hedgehog, but it is very much a plant also.
What? It's a pangolin.
It's a pear pangolin.
It's a pear pangolin wizard.
It's pangolin.
Yeah.
Goes
This is my favorite thing ever.
This one does not have a staff, but it does look like this. It is a tiny plant creature.
We must adopt it immediately.
Mascot.
How big is he?
Well, pangolin sized, really. He's not large.
Oh. Well, I mean, Rogan looks at him. This is, why, you're the most delightful thing I've seen in these parts, really, ever.
He blinks slightly and says, "Why, thank you. I'm obviously not doing a good job, though. You weren't supposed to notice me."
Who told you to watch over us?
Oh, I am... My notes are all over the place. There they are. I'm with Volivin. Roga would have heard that. Both Roga and Amina would have actually heard that name before, although you wouldn't know her. She is one of the druids who live at the Stone Ring Pond. presumed to be their leader, although the townsfolk and the druids, there's a bit of a disconnect, to say the least.
Yeah, don't judge a book by its cover, but Rogar instantly thinks the druids are the good guys in this whole thing.
I mean, I guess that explains how people can actually live close to the fog fen here and not be eaten every day.
They have magical pear people protecting them.
Pair pangolins are patrolling the border.
The
That
Pangolins.
seems like
the
great.
pergolins keep you safe when no.
Oh,
She looks and says, "Oh well, thank you. That's very kind of you, especially given the well, maybe haven't been as close as we could have been."
It's like, I mean, a slow blink that suggests he really doesn't comprehend like politics between the groups.
Hmm.
well, what would you be protecting us from?
Yeah.
What sort of beastie is out here?
He sort of gives a shrug. I mean, I couldn't protect you from wolves.
Should we be scared of wolves in these parts?
No.
I'm gonna perception check him.
Okay.
Just to try to
Bring
get a
down
read.
look closely.
24.
I mean, I was pretty sure that he's not very good at hiding it, or the creatures at least. But it's clear that he's not supposed to really tell you much.
Yeah. She also not very good at hiding things. Says, "Oh well, thank you for the kindness from your own heart to look out for us. Do you want? I've got like a sandwich. Do you want some? I got some apples with cheese cut up here. Do you want some? Do you want some food?"
He
packed too much,
hesitates, but clearly torn before he waddles forward and accepts your offer.
It's deeply offended that you're eating fruit.
Oh, he
My
does
people!
Ah! I definitely
No.
considered saying that she had a pair.
yeah. I mean, a bit too much, perhaps, for the poor thing. He's
I don't know,
delightful, though. Look at him.
maybe he loves them. I mean,
Maybe.
Yeah, she
lives in a
quickly
pear
stuffs
tree
all the
and-
pears to the bottom of the basket. Like, shit, hide them. Yeah, don't
Yeah.
worry about the blanket. They always get dirty.
you what sort of things do you see when you travel around these woods? Anything coming from the fog fen these days?
Give me a diplomacy check.
Yeah, I know he's not supposed to tell me anything, but I'm just trying to make conversation with a wonderful creature.
Food bonus.
I did not know the druids would be like watching people out here.
That makes sense.
I guess, yeah, but that also means I want to talk to them because they might know something more about what's going on than everyone else do.
Mhm.
Well, I got a 19.
I figured out how to upload the picture finally. He ponders for a moment, and then says, "Not that much other than the strange light coming from the gauntlet and the people going there constantly. Over in these parts, it's fairly safe ever since." He sort of stops. It's fairly safe. There are wolves, of course.
So, a lot of people going to Gauntlet.
Well, yes, every day.
What sort of people?
I mean, two of them sort of look like you. And then there's another dwarf and a tall, more like shadowy person.
seen a man wearing red go in there?
Red.
Yeah,
He wears red pants.
Not for a long time.
But you did see it.
I think so.
Could you tell me anything about it?
He was strange. He smelled strange.
Like what sort of strange? Like mushrooms, dirt?
No, mushrooms and dirt smell good. He smelled like food left out too long.
Hmm,
Ah.
well, that makes sense. So,
Gross.
so where do the wolves live? Are they a problem? Do we need to help
I
you
don't
with
know.
them?
You brought them up.
That's it. Looks at it.
Oh, so I thought you just said that there was some around here and they're really the only thing to be worried about. Have they been causing issues for you?
Not for a while.
Okay.
Classic. You know, Caden Kaleen be with you. He always helps us with these troublesome conversations. Have you tried mead?
I shouldn't.
Oh, please. You know, for Caden.
Like,
And
it's
a
like
big,
honey.
big
takes it.
dwarven mug of mead. Nice and sweet.
Mhm. How's the Pergolin's sweet tooth?
He doesn't hate it.
I'm a barkeep, and that gives me the hobnobber ability. I can, in half the normal time, gather information while hobnobbing with the pangolin by getting him drinks.
All right, give me another diplomacy check then.
If I can
I like
try
this.
what is-
I like this more the sly
Mhm.
side of Rogar. It's like, why don't you have a drink so I can talk to you?
I mean, that's Caden's blessing, you know.
It sure is.
You get the truth from drunks. Well, maybe not so well. I'll hero point that.
The Pangolin must
This
be.
is time for heroics.
Yes, yes, it is a heroic conversation.
Ah,
All right,
Be
all right.
heroic getting the
Mhm.
Pangolin.
That's value right there.
well, you'll have a really good
Extract
time.
information.
And if he's a good believer, and if Caden likes him, he won't have a headache afterwards.
Ah, yes, everybody knows Caden only gives hangovers to the party poopers.
Or he forgets sometimes.
Perhaps the minutes pass then as the little plant pangolin, the leshy, drinks a few too many drops of that meat before he sort of goes into a talk of. So the wolves haven't been a problem for a while. It is just we have a reputation to manage after what happened. Was it a year ago? I don't remember exactly. But he's gone now, although Warlewin believes he's not dead, you see. And he had a thing with wolves. Used them.
Who was he?
Use them.
The old druid, you mean?
Yeah, he used to be important. Joel Mesmin.
What changed?
Was supposedly killed. Lost
By who?
control. Went mad with wolves. Turned into
That's
one
nice.
himself, I heard. I think it was 5 years ago. 6? Maybe 3. After that, Whirlwind took over, and now we're trying to make sure that nothing bad happens to the townsfolk that they can blame on us.
Hmm.
Oh, well, that's kind, but also not very nice that you would be taking the blame for something that's not your fault. You know, we've heard people talk about the wolves before from the town. They're also worried about it, so maybe we could work together.
Oh, I wouldn't know if we can. I just do what Wallerwind says I should do.
We should talk to Wallerwind.
Hmm.
Tell him that we didn't see you at all.
That would be good.
You know, maybe you heard us over talking about the problems that the town is having with the wolves as well. And if Wallowin tells you that maybe it's worth talking to us about it, then that would be nice.
Maybe. I don't think the wolves are a problem, though. They just live here.
Mhm.
And if they're hungry and you walk past them, then sort of lets that thought linger.
Hmm.
Do we know where this head druid hangs out? Is it at the pond? Can we just go there? Is that a...
Basically, yeah.
What does Rogan know about them?
Give me a appropriate knowledge check, I would assume.
Society?
Society works. Not a whole lot. They are generally easily approachable. Roger would know that, and they offer a variety of services. Primarily like divine and primal spells. If someone is sick, some of them choose to go to the druids instead of the Dawnflower Library. Not that many though. In general, though, yeah, they're druids. They sort of stick to themselves. They live near the town and certainly are pro-town rather than anti-town. Trying to make it make the place in harmony with nature rather than against it. Although some might assume that they're having a few issues with that, considering how the lumber trade is a big thing in Ontari. Roger, however, isn't aware of any actual like ongoing conflict between like the lumber trade and the druids. It's just perhaps a point of tension. But in general, they just sort of stick to themselves.
Okay. Which of course means they're secretly protecting the city from all the horrible monstrosities that have been wandering out of Gauntlet Keep for years. Oh.
Perhaps one day one too many trees will be cut down and they'll lose their ability to do so, and then it will be bad for everybody.
They'll Terrible has to get a job in a factory. You know?
Definitely not.
Yeah. We'll hang out with the Peregrine, and then I mean, I don't want to push him too much to tell us too much more. I'm not looking for wolves here. Sort of we're exploring, but we'll maybe go back and maybe on the way
Just
to
make a new
Gauntlet we
friend.
can maybe on the way to Gauntlet next time we can bring the others and talk to the head druid. You know, maybe he knows something. They
start
know
leaving a
something.
sneaky piece of cheese
Oh.
for him.
Also, my little handy tool is reminding me that it is time to enter the hero point. Roger, you can have one.
Or all right, I'll hang out. Next time we'll go back. Tell the others that we met the most wonderful creature that they will ever lay their eyes upon.
Did it have a name?
Wasn't just a drinking dream.
What is his name?
I broke it.
Who's
His
she?
name. That's a good question. Let me find a good name for the fella. Names are a weakness of mine.
That's fine.
What would you guys
Uh,
name him?
That's difficult.
That's a tough question.
Harrison,
Come on.
maybe?
He's
The pair
not going to tell you his name. Like
Oh,
that is too personal.
That is
Fair enough.
way too forward.
All right, all right.
That's fine.
So I have finally made a token for him. Oh, that the white box isn't supposed to be there.
E-body?
Oh no.
Why is there a white box?
Like Hannibal.
Hannibal.
After the guy who crossed the Alps, you know?
Not the cannibal.
Oh, well, maybe that too. He is a pair.
Yeah.
It's true.
Does that work? No. I do not understand the token creation tool in Congress. But that is fine. As the hike progresses, the little fella will stick around for a little while, maybe an hour or two as you take your break, before he will say that he has important business being in that tree over there instead, because this is not how this is supposed to go.
Mhm.
And you'll
Pearl?
he will continue
Parody.
following the two of you during your hike. Meanwhile, Dancer, AC/DC, I am Iron
Yep.
Man blaring.
Oh yeah, there's a whole the whole Tony Stark workshop thing going, for sure. He has Armina's shield, under the light beam bendy thing he does to make it perfectly level. All of that stuff. Yep.
What is Torfin up to in the meantime?
I think that given that I was just recently offered a good deal at working at the forge, I will continue to do so.
All right. You can do that then.
Yes.
You're doing 3 days of downtime, so you can give me 3 days if you like.
Yeah, 3 days. Let's do that. Let's see. Earn income.
Yeah, in the downtime actions, if you go
Yeah, what
to
level
earn
is it?
income, it would be level. Let me check. The blades for blades. Up to level 5.
Okay. I don't know what these are like, so I guess I'll try a 4. I'll try that. Level 4 for 3 days.
Right.
I don't know what the. Oh,
That is-
really?
Just a failure.
Can I hero point that roll?
You can, sure.
Yeah, I will.
Heroically earn more money.
Can't do it from that, so I'll just roll it again.
Yeah, just roll it again.
There you go.
Whoa.
Success.
Wonderful.
21 silver.
21 silver pieces for your 3 days of work.
Lovely. Add that to the stack.
I believe I. Alright. And then, at the dawn of the 3rd day, you've gone.
Look to the
Around.
west.
Look to
Yeah.
the west at the rowdy rockfish. Presumably.
Yes.
Uh,
As the party comes down the morning, their new resplendent gear will be on display on the counter.
Oh,
Wow.
Answer dusts off,
This looks amazing.
dramatically dusts off his hands, takes a deep breath, and says, "Yeah, I did it. I did it." Whew. Just massages his eyes a little bit.
Oh, good work. Looks
Yeah, thank you.
looks good.
He nods and says, "Well, I'm not quite a legendary elven smith or anything, but I think this is good, solid work." And he knocks the a magical enchantment on the full plate, Armina's full plate, and says, "This will now resist most things. Hopefully," he questions.
Well, treat it like anything else. Time for some field testing.
Exactly.
Yeah, we met.
Start to don the armor.
Imagine if a pair was a hedgehog, but with shields instead of quills.
Dazzle looks at Rogar. I fail to imagine, I'm afraid.
Oh, yes, you would.
It
Oh,
was
nuts. It was quite something.
Yeah.
Well, we watered him with some of Caden's blessings, and he told us that the High Druid had sent them to watch over travelers in the woods. He would not tell us the reason. It was something about an old druid, I think, who used the wolves to do something, but was then killed. I think we should go past the lake up there to just hear what their side of this is. If they watch everyone who comes and goes to the forest, yeah, they might know something about the red-clad stranger. Certainly, the pair had seen him.
Well,
Didn't indicate as much.
Asher shrugs. I have no idea what you're talking about, but sure. Let's go into the mystical lake and talk to pair people.
You know, if it was just
helps,
Rogar, then
if just Rogar.
I
No,
did
no,
not partake that much in Caden's blessings,
you
and I
would
still
be.
saw the Paragalin. Not before that, no. But we shared a few.
you know
some
what they
really
say:
nice meat
trust but
afterwards.
verify.
Mhm.
You should go.
That's her sniffs. Is there any pesh smoke coming from these people? What is going on here? Mystical, magical pair people. Why I oughta.
It quite cured my terrible nightmares about the horrible things we saw down there. If that's it's like imagine it's all on a curve. You have terrible things, and then you have wonderful, in equal measure.
There's a nod that says, well, such thinking is certainly druidic, as far as I understand it. It's all about balance and whatnot. But certainly, let's go then and visit this mystical circle. I confess I have seen it every now and then as we have passed, but I've never thought of actually approaching it. Do you think we would even be welcome?
All
Oh, I
we
mean,
could
they
do
have
is
a-
be respectful and
They have a public lake there for a reason.
Oh, it's public. I see. Not well. Let's lead the way.
I don't think they built a fence around it.
Oh, also here's your rapier. Be careful. It's very sharp now.
Excellent. Looks deadly.
He nods. Oh, quite. Yes.
Statistically so, yeah. Yeah. Great when you use the rapier. Just sometimes you're lucky and put it somewhere. Watching.
Uh-huh. As a sidebar, I love that one of the first things Caden did as a divine act was to ascend his dog.
Yeah.
and then also he ascended his prostitute friend from down the street, and she's now his
Herald.
his herald, yeah, the accidental herald.
It's like he didn't forget.
No, he didn't.
Friends.
He didn't forget his
He didn't get
roots.
too important.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, look, I accidentally became a god. How about you also get to live
My
my
whole
pure
crew
fueled
is
heaven?"
Yeah, but the crew, everyone, blessings to me, blessings to you. That's how it works. Oh, Caden is great.
Share the love.
I'd be
It's-
religious if
it's if there was a questionnaire on the forums like, which god would you wish to be real for real? I was like, everyone was like Caden, like just
Caden.
get Caden
No
Kylie in here.
Sometimes he's a mean drunk, but that's okay. He'll sober up.
He'll sober up sometime. I mean, he
Yeah, good. He'll fisticuff, someone.
yeah, don't get hit
Good
by
point.
Caden.
He'll say the thing we're all thinking, but everyone's too polite. To
Oh
say.
no, it's the racist uncle.
Oh, he's chaotic good.
Yeah, chaotic good.
He's not that type of. I'll
He
tell
will,
you
he
what
will,
everyone.
he will call out the racist uncle at the
Ah,
family
there you
dinner
go. Yeah.
and start a huge
He's the only
discussion.
one who won't put up with the racist uncle. Yeah.
Now
You won't be polite about it.
speak to my prostitute Harold over here.
Mhm.
He's great. Yeah. All right. To the druids. Just have to appreciate Pathfinder. Yeah, have to appreciate Pathfinder lore every now and then because it's excellent.
Yeah. I didn't even realize leshies were a thing, so
They're
That's great.
wonderful little things.
Mhm.
I don't know exactly what they are, but if that's a leshy, then I'm all for it.
Pangolins, apparently.
Argolins.
Yeah, there are all kinds of things.
I know there's also one that's like a fat little cactus. I
Yep.
love him too, with little floppy hands.
A factus.
Oh,
All right, the
Factus.
a lake that you've passed many a times is a pond of completely clear water, surrounded by 24 standing stones, exactly the same height, about 12 feet. It's a standing sentinel around the shallow pond. There isn't really like any structures, tents, or no secretary to ring the bell to speak to the druids. In fact, there's nobody currently here.
Hmm.
Is there a little
Sure.
itinerary or something on one of the rocks? It's like here between 12 and 2.
The office hours.
Yeah, on moon days. Ring the
Camino
bird for service.
We'll leave the ring the bird.
Yep.
We'll leave some of the same little sneaky cheese that she offered to the pergolin the first time. I just leave it like on a little plinth or something, or a little tree stump.
Makes sense.
You approach the rocks to look for like the opening hours.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Dancer notices someone standing next to him.
Ah,
Sort of looking at him inquisitively. A gnome.
you know,
show you a picture.
out of pure reflex, if someone suddenly appears next to Dancer, he will swing, like twist around and back in a sort of a pirouette, half pulling his blade out. Like, this is not okay with him at all to suddenly just appear next to him. Not after Gauntlet.
Here's
Oh.
a picture of the person.
Oh.
As she sort of smiles up at Dancer after he spins around, almost pulls his weapon. She sort of tilts her head slightly and says, "Not exactly polite to come into someone's home and get startled when the owner arrives, now is it?"
Dancer slowly relaxes and like resheets the blade and says, "My apologies, ma'am. My recent experiences have made me wary of sudden appearances."
She sort of glances over at the four of you and says, Yes, you've been heading to Gauntlet these past few, weeks at this point, haven't you? Can't imagine the things you've seen. Even from a distance, we see that it has a maliciousness to it that we thought was gone.
I can certainly
Little
tell
shrugs.
you about the things I have seen, but I am not sure you would like to hear much of it. He shudders. I
I'm
believe.
sure if you've seen every way that we've went in and every way that you've come out,
Yeah,
you know,
it's just.
it leaves a picture on its own.
My entire torso is now scar tissue. I don't have any like nipples left. It's just
Oh,
scar tissue
stop.
all the way down.
You want to know how many of these I had before going into Gauntlet? 2!
He's practically
Two
a
of
mummy at this stage. Yeah.
This bandage was just a cool picture I found, but it's true now. Well, he will off slightly. Says, "Well, I believe my friends here, he indicates Rogar and Armina, wished to speak to you. Yes.
I am here to talk to, of course. If you need any of our services, I'll be happy to deliver. You've certainly. She pauses. It is important that this evil is investigated, and it is good that it is you, I think.
Well, thank you. That's very kind words.
So, how can I help you?
Well, we just wanted to do a neighborhood check-in. We went through a hike yesterday, and just felt like how would you describe a Rogard? It just kind of felt like somebody was around, but maybe a little too nervous to approach. And what with this big scary castle around, I thought that might be good to say hello to our neighbors.
Yes, and I believe there was meat involved.
She smiles. Well, I didn't want to get him in trouble.
Oh,
But,
he's in no trouble.
Well, good. Yeah, turns to Rogar.
Is Malachi gone?
Is
Malaguy's
muted,
muted.
and that's why you guys are rudely speaking over me. What was I saying? I was mid-speech. So we understand that you've had your feelers out as to who comes and goes to Gauntlet Keep. We've also known that learned that the mayor's, the Menemies, the daughter, is very sick after having a strange dream where she was visited by a man wearing red. Perhaps you've seen this person.
As a correction, Malachi, the man that
He had
the
yellow
enemy's
pants,
daughter
I
has seen did not have red pants.
Oh, he was. Oh, really? Oh,
No, yellow.
pants man. Oh,
That was Yellow Pants
That's
Man.
separate. Yeah, the
Who's
man
the
in
red pants
dreams.
man then?
Red
That's
Pants
the
Man
one
was
that
was
the
seen going to
fisherman, I
Gauntlet.
believe, saw, right?
Oh, damn. So different colors of pants, these guys. Okay, I thought honestly that was the same guy. All right,
No, no,
well, we've
Could
seen
be,
a man with red
but
pants and a man with
He
yellow
was wearing
pants.
different.
So
He was wearing different pants at the time.
that's true. It can be different pants to distinguish them the days he did it. We've seen people, or we've heard of people with very colorful pants walking about, and we're curious to why they might be doing so, and if maybe they have something to do with the relighting of the lighthouse.
He ponders and says, "There are many fashion choices that I myself also do not understand. I'm unsure what you're getting at exactly. Yes, we've been aware of many of the people going to and from Gauntlet, but we're certainly not. It's more accidental as we're out and about, trying to advise everywhere, certainly, but not focusing on Gauntlet in particular, at least not before all of this started. It was merely an old relic then. Irrelevant, or at least dormant, so we thought, so it didn't warrant much attention. Red pants,
Anyone
yellow
but us?
pants.
Anyone but us come and gone since it relighted?
To Gauntlet? I'm not sure. We've looked at it in the past, but found nothing, and now apparently there's... Well, you certainly found more than we have.
Even so, there's it's clear that there's more going on than we have context for, and so just wanted to reach out and ask if even the smallest thing that seemed irrelevant at the time. You never know what might be the eureka moment, a piece of information that helps explain it all. And this, well, whether it's the same person or different people, these colorful pants individuals seem to also have their fingers in the proverbial pie.
Well, now that you mention it, I think it was about a year ago that he stopped showing up. But I've heard mention of a man roaming the shores near Gauntlet. I suppose he was once described as having red pants, but it was hardly the most striking feature I was told about.
What was the most striking feature?
Well, two, really. One, his lantern emitted this bluish light. It lit the way, certainly, but there was something off about it, also, I've heard. And the other thing is that he looked like a man. But those of us with keener noses and keener eyes have said that there's something off. I have not paid much attention to the stories, as he has not been seen often. And I have to admit, more often than not, I merely assumed that they've seen some will-o'-wisp or perhaps another swamp creature masquerading as a man. It does happen. But now you're looking for someone with those that vaguely fits the description, at least. I don't know if that has been helpful.
No, you have.
The lantern is certainly a feature that has been mentioned as well. This is probably the person who kidnapped, or at least moved the son of the Rowdy Rockfish proprietress away.
The last time I was seen about a year ago, was there somebody with him?
Her expression changes slightly as you mentioned the kidnapping of Lester. She says, if you are investigating that particular event, there's another lead that you might perhaps consider. It is mostly based on, quite frankly, paranoia, but the disappearance of townsfolk, something that has happened in the past before. Back then, the perpetrator was, I'm afraid, one of ours. We believe that justice has been served. However, part of me believes that that night, when he was thrown over the cliff, he did not, in fact, get swallowed by the ocean. I've often thought that maybe Lester's disappearance is a sign that he has returned, but I don't know.
Who was he?
Although what I can tell you is that he certainly does not wear red pants. His name was, hopefully, Joel Mesman. He was one of ours. He was the leader of the druids around these parts before I arrived. That was maybe 30 years ago. A while ago.
Why is that name ringing a bell? Is that the guy that we were told about who was the druid who became one of the wolves?
It is the same name that the Leshy mentioned.
Yeah. Looks to Rogar to see if he clocked that as well.
To summarize, perhaps, it is not exactly a secret, although we try not to pull people's focus back to his darker side, as he did very much represent us, and has His actions have certainly soured what used to be great relations between us and the town, and have made rebuilding that trust difficult over the past years, even with him gone. He was not only a druid, he was afflicted by lycanthropy. Whenever the moon rose particularly high, he joined the wolves in their howls and turned into one himself, with desires and needs that were violent in nature. He had kept this nature hidden from us, of course, even those who called him a friend. But I suppose at some point he simply couldn't control himself anymore. Or didn't care about hiding his needs.
I see.
Question is if
Well,
this is somehow related to Gauntlet and its activities. We have I haven't found any moon or lycanthropy themed things in there, but there are that strange chapel with the stars and whatnot.
I don't
Did
well, we
she-
were last seen heading in that direction, and we got hired to investigate it because his work was connected to Gauntlet. So looks
I
like
don't
there is
think there's any direct correlation between him and Gauntlet, at least, but I'm merely trying to share what I've been thinking about in regards to the kidnapping of poor Lester.
No, it's you've given us some very valuable information. Thank you.
Is there anything you think we should be particularly aware of as we keep delving into Gauntlet? We have already seen, well, a lot of strangeness, and I guess the answer will just give her a cliff notes of our delve into Gauntlet, what we have seen so far, the cult of the worm, the purple worm-like habitat, the ghouls, the library, all the ghosts. Yeah, just trying to give her a rundown of the place.
She ponders and says, I'm afraid this is beyond my area of expertise. As I've said, we've long since believed that Gauntlet was, well, done, really. The evil sorceress was slain many years ago, and that it was just a ruin. Apparently that is not so. Or perhaps it is a ruin, but an inhabited one still.
Well, we don't know exactly what our investigations will stir up down there, and we certainly have done our best and done a good job so far of destroying anything that we have encountered. The place is littered with the bodies of monsters that we have vanquished, but if we should fail, or if something should slip out that we are unaware of or can't catch, it might be a good idea to keep your people and your eyes and ears out for anything crawling out of that place.
Yes, as you mentioned it, you mentioned the purple worm.
Yes, enclosed in its own little habitat, almost, with the Gauntlet's ghostly beam going through it, seemingly having desiccated it, but I am not sure. The beam has, well, as you saw, probably, the capability of raising the dead from the graveyard, and we have also seen it restore and rejuvenate some of the ghoul priests that have bathed themselves in its glow.
Actually raises a question. Why did the corpse not?
On the necromancy side, the existence of purple worm in these parts, at least in the past, explains a few things. You see, there's a few tunnels underneath this, the ground here, that pass very close to Otari itself, some of them even under them, and we've long since pondered where they came from. We've had some outlandish theories, including that the purple worm or some other enormous worm creature dug them, but we've discarded those because those don't exist around here.
Oh no, was the purple
But
worm
of
somehow
course-
responsible for the tavern collapsing?
It's all connected.
It's
It's becoming an X-Files episode.
I mean, those tunnels will certainly not have done a good thing for the foundations of Utari, but then again, they have been here for hundreds of years. Unless something attempted to expand them recently, they shouldn't have had any effect.
Well, there is certainly there's certainly a enormous corpse of a purple worm up in there. There's also a mention of this cult of the worm, or what the worm knows. I don't know if that rings any bell, but there seems to be a worm fascination of that place.
Mhm. I've heard mentioned that this stranger in red, although I've heard his smell be compared to that of a worm.
Yeah. I should say, I meant to earlier, but then the conversation got away from us, that our adorable mutual friend also gave us the same name and said something similar about him. Well, smelling like rotted fruit, perhaps indicating the presence of a worm.
Is there a worm man creature? Is there a check I could do to, now that we have the worm connection here, to something that walks around like a man?
Worm lore.
Yeah, worm lore, my super secret skill that I have. No, but like
That would be an occultism check.
I'll occultism check. I know
You ask
anything about
me, I
this.
can help you.
I mean, he shares his theory,
Sure, I'll
or it's just,
think about it.
Yeah.
thinking about it, like odd, like a man worm. Like he's probably never heard of that. But let's see.
A worm.
I'm not good at talking, but I'm gonna think.
Worm man.
Not haven't heard much probably. From me.
15. Well, there's certainly many a strange creature out there in the world, including, a lot of humanoid ones.
It's true. It's true.
But at least I can't think of, a worm with presumably the ability to wear pants.
There's an odd ability because they usually don't have legs.
It's the perfect disguise.
Thorfinn, however, with a very good roll.
Oh yes, the
Um,
worm pants man. I know everything.
He is aware of certain borderline macabre practices. Well, not borderline, macabre practices. That can... How do I phrase this?
Metamorphosize someone.
It was
Sure.
something from.
There are mentions of people turning themselves into swarms of smaller creatures.
Okay.
Be it worms, be it maggots, be it leeches. That will certainly explain the worm smell, including the ability to wear pants, I suppose.
Right. Yeah.
It is certainly the same sort of necromantic / macabre feeling that you've gotten from many of the books located there, and at least thematically it will make sense that it might be that
I'll
direction.
offer this
It
theory.
is a practice that is horribly wrong, not secret necessarily, but it would be that sort of thing that would be like forbidden knowledge, basically, because it's just so incredibly macabre.
Don't ask why I know. Just that's my favorite.
That some people might consider unnatural. Yes.
Is it
I read a
possible
lot.
to learn the power
yes.
of
Bulging
worm
coat
man?
moves around him.
Thorin's master, Darth Plagueis the Wise.
I'll have to take a very short break here.
Okay.
Be right back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, we're looking for
Worm that wears pants. Yes.
a swarm of a humanoid-shaped swarm
Mhm.
of worms
Yep.
that is also a werewolf.
Well,
Well, there may be different things.
maybe he was a werewolf, and then after he died, he came
Well,
back
look, because
he got buried and then eaten by worms, and then he fused with the worms, so it became a worm swarm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because the Pergolin gave us the same name, and
Yeah.
also said that the wolf smelled like rotted fruit, aka fruit with worms in it.
Yeah. True.
Maybe that's true. I mean,
At
something
first,
happened.
I thought he was saying that it was like undead, but same name and very similar description of smell.
Yeah, would explain the worminess certainly.
Yeah. So he is a swarm of worms and also a werewolf.
I mean, he's a living swarm. If that's what that is, then that's trouble.
I'm definitely much more inclined to go look for the wolves now.
the-
Like I think that's become like top priority.
Does the
Thank God,
worminess
even more than
cure
goat.
the werewolfiness? Are they worms werewolves? Do
I
they
don't
turn
know.
into a swarm of small werewolves?
Usually you
Okay.
can't.
Need to know
You
how
can't
these two things
You
interact.
can't combine curses like that usually, but what do I know?
If you're cursed by Gauntlet, maybe you can.
Maybe you
What if
can.
each of the worms is cursed to be a werewolf?
Yeah. We also know that
Worm with
NPC
a
stat
wolf
blocks
head.
cheat. So
It's true.
uh
Yeah,
all
if that's a swarm that walks, we're in trouble.
yeah. I am the swarm.
It's they
I mean,
are.
what do you do to that? What do you do?
They're horrific.
It's also
Don't
it's
have
also a swarm that can
damage
become a
on-
quadrupedal wolf.
I mean, they can become anything. They're a swarm. They just form themselves like
Well, at
Voltron.
least we have silver.
We do have silver, yeah.
Oh, no.
We need alchemists. We need bombs if you're gonna go up against a swarm, or one of those guns that have AOE damage.
Fireball.
Fireball would do it. Well, I think this line of questioning is more or less exhausted right now. Like we need to delve deeper. We don't have
Yeah.
enough info.
I think we should go wolf hunting.
I don't know. What would that give us except just some wolves?
Well, a direct. We now know like a name and a very specific description of like the last person who saw the guy who we were initially hired to rescue or to look into.
Yeah.
That is like the most direct lead that we've had so far, by far.
Sure,
More than
but
anything that Gauntlet has given us.
he's was supposedly thrown off a cliff and died, right?
No, that was the Jarl Mesmin that was supposedly thrown off a cliff.
Wasn't he the werewolf?
Yeah.
So who we're looking for?
Yeah, but it might
no,
be that he didn't die from that. That's the
Yeah,
whole
he
point.
didn't. Yeah, he didn't. The whole thing is that he didn't die.
Sure, but we
Yeah,
don't
the
know where he.
worms instead.
Or
We don't know where he is at all,
Well,
though.
So,
No.
well, Well, actually, no. Yeah, I guess here's the question: is when's the full moon? Because he'll be with the werewolf back.
Well, we haven't had any. Like Otari hasn't reported any wolf problems. It's only like the sour, vengeful guy in the market that doesn't like wolves. But
yeah,
but the
which
druid,
indicates that they're somewhere nearby.
I don't know. The druid lady here said that the wolves are fine now. Like I think she's lying.
I definitely think that she's not telling us everything, but that's fine. To be
fine, yeah.
expected.
It's just if he's a living worm god, then maybe we should, find a way to stop that.
Yeah,
Growing
living
worms
worm
is
god that is
bad.
also, werewolf that is also red pants man. They're like all the same person. Seems like if we have an idea of where that person is, that's what we should pursue, at least in my opinion. But we don't know when the full moon is going to be, so that's we could always delve and wait for the full moon.
I honestly think that something like that is hidden inside Gauntlet. I don't think it would be lounging around out here. Like he took the son of the innkeeper presumably led him
Yeah,
like
question is
through
why?
Gauntlet with his weird lantern, like to the keep, and then vanished. As she said that
Yeah.
he's been spotted like lurking around the shores there. So
Yeah, so we can go look around the shores, see if
I could.
there's any tracks or anything.
Tracking in a swamp is not easy.
Well, I mean, all else fails, we just go into Gauntlet, but it's worth taking a look.
Sure.
I mean, otherwise he might be in Godlight.
That's what I'm thinking.
Probably. This is not where I thought the session was going today.
No, I was taking a hike,
Yeah,
but
got a lot from that.
but let's go to Godlight. This wolf thing turns into more, like then we can go hunt wolves. But it's true, we shouldn't. I don't want to antagonize the bridge. You know, if they asked for help with it, then we would do it. You
Yeah, it
have it
definitely
just
seems
my
that Mr.
business.
Pergolin gave us more information than he was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
It's the hobnobbing and the mead.
Just
Yeah.
yeah, comparing that to the amount that this gnome just gave us.
Yeah.
We have a silver weapon. We're good on that. Yeah.
Yes. Have a silver elven
Go talk to
curblade.
Mr. Dev. We can go back to the devil. Now we got
We have to fight a pack of werewolves. Then you go first.
And
Yeah.
devils. And devils. Silver is good against devils. We have run across at least 2. The weird fly baby was a devil, I think.
Oh, yeah, they are. And one that pops up.
Yeah, that would be problematic.
Discari Reborn is a worm.
Oh boy. Do have a bit of money still. I don't know if I think most of our basic needs are filled. That's a +1 striking weapon. +1. I have to say piece 6.
Armor is the next thing, right? Or a level 2 striking weapon.
Yeah, that'll be something. I think armor is the next on the agenda. Yes.
Be nice to pick up a wand or two.
Oh yeah, wands. We have one. We have the healing one. That's a nice one.
Magic missile.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we should start getting the it's very situational stuff, but when you need it, it's incredible to have.
You can. I mean, if you want, we could get like some silver sheen for Armina, for example. You rub it on your sword to make it silver for a battle, pretty much.
Cooperative blade.
Yeah, because we can't really make the cooperative blade into a silver weapon. Hope sheep is okay. I don't know. It's been gone a while now. Well, Can't even go to the map and look around.
Nope.
Don't have too much left of that floor
Trapped.
though, right? I think we're like 2/3 done, maybe.
Yeah, I'd say there's probably another room or two of the like cave area. Probably a little bit past on like the left side.
Yeah, we did go south there much. Because we followed the little lizard light thing.
The little ghost guy.
Little
Which we never found.
the little gem
Never
lizard.
found that guy.
Did he go downstairs?
Maybe.
I forgot where he went actually.
Yeah, we found a way to go downstairs.
Yeah, we found like 2, maybe even 3 ways down. Just keep
Hmm.
sprawling, man.
Yep. As long as we continue to see that aura coming through the floor, there's at least one more.
Yep, it's true. True. Oh, sheep's typing.
Uh-oh.
Oh, by the way, Malachi, the sequel to 6 Ages is on its way.
Yes, I started
You're
another bug fixing for a while.
ready for Sword Horse, the continuation?
See if another comet randomly hits and crushes all
God.
our stuff.
We were so powerful.
We had the world of
We had
of
the
our
word. Yeah, our hooves.
Kneeled.
Our,
The ram people, the other people, the sun worshippers.
yeah, yeah. Trampled under the hooves of Sword Horse.
Literally make them make us a big pile of cows, and then the comet hit right in it.
And then the comet hit and everything went to shit.
I remember you made those 2 people drown themselves. That stuck with me. Damn.
Yeah, it was the honorable
no.
thing to do.
I don't know.
Okay. Sorry to hear it, Sheep. Alright then, folks. We're calling it here. Short RP session. Sheep is not feeling great. So we are stopping so he can recuperate and rest. Sorry for the short one. Hopefully we'll be back next week. I'm still not 100% sure on the date. I will know after this weekend at the latest.
All right.
Alright. Peace.